But I had a very bad experience in China. And one day I said, okay, enough with Asia. And once I got asked to go and visit Taiwan for the school, I simply fall in love. As soon as I landed in Taoyuan, I said, oh my God, where am I? And yeah, I'm here ever since.
Today's guests have done something truly unique here in Taiwan. But before we get to that, I just want to know a little bit more about you guys and what brought you to Taiwan.
My name is Gianni, and I'm from Italy. I'm in Taiwan now 4.5 years, and I work in the wine business. I'm a wine educator and sommelier. I came to Taiwan, I followed Chinese studies many years ago, so I always been attracted by this side of the world, and here I am still.
My name's Anthony, I'm from the UK. Don't really need to live in Taiwan, but I love Taiwan so much that I do. I've been here nearly the best part of 5 years. I work in higher education, supporting students from all over East and Southeast Asia and the Middle East to go and study in the UK. Love it here, and made the mistake of trying to move back to the UK last year, and it didn't work out because Taiwan's a lot better.
So you did a little mini Brexit yourself then?
Yeah.
Nice. Before moving here, how much did you actually know about Taiwan?
It was actually on my first ever work trip in this industry that I came to Taiwan back in 2017, and it was on that first trip that I went back to the UK saying, yeah, I could live there.
So yeah, I studied Chinese, so I never really consider Taiwan because my studies came from the Confucius Institute, so I learned basically simplified characters. But I had a very bad experience in China. And one day I said, okay, enough with Asia. And once I got asked to go and visit Taiwan for the school, I simply fall in love. As soon as I landed in Taoyuan, I said, oh my God, where am I? And yeah, I'm here ever since.
How did you guys meet, and what have you recently been doing here in Taiwan?
There's a third member of this adventure, which is our Canadian friend, Pete, who works in my industry, eats and drinks in his restaurant, and kind of brought us together. Conversations happened where they came up with the idea to cycle the length of Taiwan, and then thought, it sounds a bit easy, so let's do it on YouBikes.
You guys have actually cycled the length of Taiwan on YouBikes.
Yeah, from the northmost YouBike station to the southmost, which is not quite the length, but it's about as far as you can go on YouBikes. Yeah, 500, and I think it worked out about 540 kilometers altogether.
That's
without counting the times we got lost, so we added on kilometers.
That's another 500 now. Started the story saying like over a beer. It does sound like there is a certain amount of alcohol included in this decision.
Actually, not that much, but I do remember waking up the next day with a message of Pete. So are you sure? Are you in?
You're like, what did I say yesterday?
Yeah, and then I had to say, yeah, I mean, I cannot, lose the face, right? So, okay. No, yeah, sure. Great idea. Let's do it for charity too. So we decided also to add on, some giving back to Taiwan with the charity. So that's it. We were committed. I took the YouBike for a long ride once only before. I went to Damshui and then already regret it.
I mean,
I have done that actually, like from Taipei to like Damshui. Yeah.
That's
easy,
and that's more training than I did.
How was it like the first day of this adventure? Like how do you prepare like that morning? Like what do you pack? What did you guys bring like on the bike?
Logistics, planning, making sure this all actually happened. This is all Pete. Pete wrote a packing list of like things we needed, that kind of thing. Gianni got everything from Decathlon, so
we like Decathlon.
Yeah. And then I went shopping the day before we set off to buy the things that we needed. Padded shorts.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much it in terms of like. It's like
there was a list.
Stop one was Guandu Temple. We got to Guandu Temple, took a couple of photos, that kind of thing, and then we set off again. About just over 4 kilometers from Guandu Temple, I realized I hadn't got my glasses, and I left them back at Guandu Temple.
The first stop.
But it meant I cycled 4 kilometers back to Guandu Temple, then 4 kilometers back to where we were.
And this is like a few hours into the trip only.
Yes, and I said, how am I going to get down?
Yeah.
But then I realized that if you, deal every, day by day, it actually gets you to the end.
How many days are we talking about?
6 days.
6 days.
Initially, it was meant to be 5 days.
But you forgot your glasses again.
Initially, it was meant to be 5 days because the southmost YouBikes station, when we initially planned this, was in Pingdong. And then a week after we said, all right, let's do this, 5 days, we'll be able to do it. The Taiwanese government or Giant or whoever opened 6 YouBike stations in Kending. So yeah, it added, I think about 70 kilometers to the ride. 70 kilometers more than I agreed to. And then, yeah, we had to add an additional day. A couple of them were easy days. They were only 60 kilometers.
Yeah, those days don't count.
We added 10 kilometers one day because we wanted to spend less time on the highway because we'd only been cycling along the highway like I think the day before.
Yeah, man.
So we added a bit of distance there, and obviously the most important thing is we need to end somewhere that had a YouBike station.
Right. Yeah.
Otherwise, you have to bring it back.
Check it in. So that kind of determined our distances each day, because between some of the stops, like I think it was between Tainan and Limbian,
Yeah, there's no
YouBike stations. Like there's some in Tainan, and then there's the next one's like at Limbian.
I didn't realize that you actually switch bikes. Of course, you don't keep the same YouBike.
No. Otherwise, it would be super expensive.
Kind of full time.
And the first 3 days, I could not go up the ramps, so I would just get off the bike and walk up.
Yeah. Now the ramps are tough. Even like if you're on a short YouBike ride.
So day one, there was just over 700 meters of elevation. Some pretty good videos of Gianni pushing the bike up.
So nah, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
What was like your best memory from this whole trip? Like either like the most beautiful scenery or just like something that is like the first best thing that you think about?
Oh wow. Well, I might say people, kindness. Like a lot of people. I mean, being always in the back gives you time to hey, say hi to people. They look at you. What the hell are you doing here? You know, on a YouBike. Yeah, people. They were always cheering up. You know, always screaming "Jayo," smiling, saying hi. I don't know. That's what I take.
The random people on the scooters that were just going past us like on the highways that were like beeping their horns and stuff. That was really nice. I mean, for me, the best bit was finishing. Just like that last day, firstly because the scenery is absolutely amazing. From once you get past like Kaohsiung, going into Kending, like the mountains were rolling. It was very undulating the whole way, but like in a nice way, not too difficult. The weather was beautiful. Yeah, we were already in like celebratory mood on the way down, so stopped at a couple of 7-Elevens on the way. Like 7-Eleven should have sponsored us, man. We had every lunch at 7-Elevens, every like pit stop at 7-Elevens. We didn't even go to a family mart.
No, we just
7-Eleven should have.
Sometimes actually we say next 7-Eleven we stop for lunch, and there were no 7-Eleven for hours. Yeah, beer never tasted so good like the last day.
Speaking about like the cost and sponsorships, like how much did it actually cost for the YouBikes? Like 6 days, entire Taiwan.
YouBikes obviously aren't really meant for this. They're meant as like a first mile, last mile kind of thing, which is how YouBike describes it themselves in an email to us when we told them we were doing this. And
so not even the YouBike thought this was a good idea.
We don't encourage such
we don't tell you can't do it, but we don't encourage it.
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because they have an agreement where they have a certain amount of YouBikes in every like government district, I guess. So obviously when you're taking them from one to the other, they have to bring it back. Because they have to bring it back, they charge you more when you take it across like one of these. So as well as getting like your hourly like fee, they charge you a little bit more on top of like not a penalty, just the return charge or whatever. Some days had it, some days didn't. So like day one had it because we were taking it from Baishuan to Hsinchu. But then weirdly, day two didn't, taking it from Hsinchu to Taichung. So the way they group areas is a bit different. So day one, I think, was the most expensive day. It was like 940 NT. But yeah, altogether, I think it was
around 3,000, I guess.
Yeah, about 3,000.
3,000.
It's the same as like a HSR ticket. Just
Yeah,
take the
there's a
train
lot
next
of
time.
that's what a lot of people say. It's a train ticket return.
The last day from Limbian to Kending was like 170 NT, and that's like less than the bus. Everyone should do this. This should be the way people do it.
Jump on a bank.
And I should also mention, you of course did this for charity. What were the charities? What was the reason behind that? And did you actually fulfill like the goal you had set out before?
Right Side Projects, which are a charity that work with disadvantaged children and adults and developmental issues and that kind of thing. They also run an orphanage, I think, in Taiwan. We looked at like all the work they do and we just thought it sounds like something we should really try and support if we can. Like our whole idea was Taiwan's given us so much that we want to try and give back to Taiwan in some way. So we wanted to support charities that do a lot of good for Taiwanese societies or people that struggle in Taiwan. And the second was the Garden of Hope Foundation, and they work mainly with women and children that have been in situations of like domestic violence to support them. And they also do a lot of like advocacy for like policy change and awareness raising of like issues of domestic violence, gender-based violence, that kind of thing. Two really worthwhile charities. Our initial target was £1,000. I think we somehow managed to hit that within a few days, and then we raised it, and then we hit that, and then we were like, people are incredibly generous. Our friends, our family, but also complete strangers, people that have just seen the page. Our first donation was before we'd even made anything from someone we don't know, and so we raised it again to £5,000, about 200,000 NTD. And we hit it a couple of days ago.
Yes.
And we're still getting donations now. We're going to try and keep the page open until the end of the 12 days of Christmas, because that's very festive. January the 5th.
January the 5th.
January 5th.
So you'll have a link down below and see if, although you've already surpassed your goal, let's see if we can raise that goal one last time before the end of this donation time.
After that, we'll close and split the money equally between both charities. I wouldn't say I was shocked by how generous people were, but it was really like inspiring to see. It was definitely, I think, the main motivator why we didn't stop and get an e-bike or didn't stop and get the train was just people were just so supportive. We've had over 100 donations as well, so it's not just like people giving like big chunks of money. It's people just giving like 200 NT or like 1,000 NT, and it's really nice.
And we did find a lot of sponsors. So also we raised some money from Italian restaurants, of course.
Oh, all our sponsors are basically in the Italian food industry. Initially, we'd planned to pay for it all ourselves, but then a couple of local businesses just said, how can we like support you guys to do this and make it easier for you? And
six sponsors.
All local businesses, all.
And I have to ask then, now after doing like the ultimate YouBike challenge, will you guys ever be on a YouBike again?
I bought a proper bike though. I got inspired and I bought myself a proper bike.
For real?
I got a proper bike.
Because I would just imagine like it would just make you hate biking.
No, actually no. Something that biking also is very good for your weight control. I lost quite a few kilos on the YouBike. So I want to try it, because as you said, Taiwan is so beautiful. With a bike you can reach so many places.
It's one of the best countries to cycle in the world. Even in Taipei, like the Riverside Path. I'm trying to think whether or not I could do the whole of the Riverside Path on a YouBike in 24 hours.
It does sound like that maybe we will see some more challenges from your side. I will try to keep you guys updated as well. And maybe we can just join you guys just for an hour or so next time you do something crazy like this. And hopefully raise even more money to charity here in Taiwan. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Lukas. Starts with L as in like, ends with S as in subscribe. Please do both, and see you all in the next one.
It's a shame Pete wasn't here. He told me that he had spent the last hour searching for a unique manhole cover in Kaohsiung to take a photo of and hadn't been able to find it. So he's living his dreams as well. He also has an account called Manhole Covers of Taiwan, which is basically pictures of all unique manhole covers around Taiwan. So he has like photos of every single one of them, and when he goes to different cities he searches for like unique ones.
I have the same face when you told me. I was like,
that's what he was doing this morning. That's why he's not here. He was searching.